Hi there, I'm Deanna Sickler, and I'm a real estate broker with John L. Scott here in Jackson County.
And I'm Andrea Zundel, Senior Loan Officer with Guild Mortgage.
Diane Lane, also at John L. Scott, with offices in Ashland and Medford.
So there is no disputing that this has been a wild housing market for the past couple of years. It's been both exciting and challenging, requiring both patience and urgency. But the truth remains, housing continues to be one of the strongest avenues of building wealth. This year alone, the market appreciated tremendously. The average gain for homeowners over the last 5 years was around $140,000. The average gain of wealth for homeowners over the last 10 years was $220,000.
Yet we are seeing a lot of people that are so intimidating with the housing market and the speed at which our market has appreciated that people are opting to sit on the sidelines. We're finding 3 primary reasons prospective buyers are waiting. The first reason for waiting is that housing values are climbing so high that buyers believe that they are out of reach and not worth the inflated prices.
Here's the thing though, we often focus completely on housing prices to talk about the real estate market, but another way to look at the market is to look at the affordability. So housing affordability considers 3 elements. Number 1, housing prices, yes, but also interest rate and the household incomes. These 3 factors determine how affordable homes are in any given market. So over the past 2 months, housing affordability has actually increased, meaning that homes have become more affordable.
The National Association of Realtors publishes an index to track affordability. Without lulling you to sleep, a value of 100 means that a family with the national median income has exactly enough income to qualify for a mortgage on a home. Currently, the affordability index is at an astonishing 151.3, meaning families have 151% of the income needed to buy a home at the current interest rate.
The second common objection we hear is that the market is going to crash, so it's way too risky of a time to get in. The reason why some people may believe that the market's going to crash is that they continue to compare today's real estate market to 2008 and the Great Recession. That is not true at all, and it's costing families a lot of opportunity by trying to time the market perfectly or wait for the sky to fall.
Which is very scary.
Back in mid-2000s, after a systematic dismantling of financial regulations, the real estate market rallied for all the wrong reasons. No-doc mortgages were all the rage, meaning people were pre-approved for financing simply because they had a pulse. So many things went awry during this time period, leading to a booming market filled with homeowners who were on tenuous ground to begin with. Here are the 3 big differences to today's market. Number 1, strict lending standards. Just ask anyone who has gotten a mortgage recently. Lending standards are far more stringent now than ever before. Lenders want to know with certainty that buyers can repay their loan. If a person is approved for financing, it's because all of their financials and credit history have been thoroughly scrubbed, and there's a very high degree of certainty that repayment of the loan will occur.
A second difference in today's market is a supply versus demand. So the driver of today's market is a consequence of a demand-supply imbalance that's been years in the making. Builders were hit hard by the real estate crisis of 2008, and it took a very long time for them to get back on their feet and resume normal operations. As a result, the supply of new units fell well behind the mounting need for the demand, arising simply from the growth in the number of households. In October 2008, we had 11 months of inventory, whereas today, that number is actually less than 3 months. To give you an idea, a healthy market typically has 6 months of inventory.
A third difference in today's market is that homes are more affordable. Don't laugh, you heard me right. Remarkably, homes are at their most affordable standing in more than a generation. Mortgage payments for the median U.S. home have not been this low as a percentage of household income since at least 1984, when we began tracking household income to begin with. Why is this? Because we are still experiencing the lowest interest rates in 60 years.
The third most common objection that we hear from buyers is that they believe that the housing bubble is going to burst, which will send values plummeting. Buyers actually said the same thing in March of 2020 when the pandemic began, but buyers who have waited out 2020 and 2021 are now paying between 15 to 20% more than they would have had they gone ahead and purchased a home in 2020.
Despite what some people believe, most forecasts anticipate continued home price appreciation. The Home Price Expectation Survey done in August of 2021 of over 100 economists, investment strategists, and housing market analysts expect home prices to increase. 11% this year in 2021, 6% in 2022, 4% in 23, 3.5% in 24, and another 3.6% in 2025. What's all this mean? If you add that up, 28% appreciation expected in your home. So, for example, if you bought a $400,000 home today and those gains continued over the next 5 years, you could potentially gain over $100,000 in wealth over the next 5 years.
So what's the takeaway? No one is calling for depreciation or an overall decline in pricing. So now may be the exact right time to enter the market. We completely understand that entering the housing market is a really, really big deal. But for those of you who've been waiting, now is the time. We would love to help be a part of your team and help you start building wealth.